All right, Jonathan. So tell me about anything, anything on your mind you want to work with, like something that hinders you, something that blocks you, anything, like that the biggest obstacle.
Financial security.
Okay, okay. Financial security is a classic one. Yeah. So how do you feel around that? The financial, like when it comes to financial situation, but also the psychology behind it, like mental stability or mental health around financial stability right now.
I think it locks into a lot of when you were younger. You didn't actually learn as a child. You just saw what was going on around you. So if your parents didn't really give you much attention, you had to learn on your own. So all you knew what to learn from was what you saw around you. So
Yeah.
that's how you ended up learning and behaving, and
Mm.
you don't even realize why you're thinking or feeling that way. You're just noticing that you're doing it, and it takes a lot of presence to really see it for what it is,
Yeah.
or what it could have been, or what
Mm.
you wanted it to be. And so it just comes down to a state of what is,
What is
but but isn't. It's such a count. Like you can't find it. You just have to be it.
yeah.
And there's a lot of things that blocks us from just being it. But we made the blocks. That's where it comes in. So we are the problem of our own problem, and our solution to our own solution. And we are the solution to the problem because we're the ones who created it.
Mm.
And it's a program. It's a program code.
Yeah.
People use certain people use substances to kind of, I mean, at least I have, to break down that code and notice, oh, that's how I feel, or that's how I think. And anyways, any thoughts so far?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's beautiful, yeah, especially the part where you're like, be the one who, like, we are in the problem, right? Like, we are in the problem and we know especially like we know the solution, we know the solution deep inside. Like, maybe on a conscious, rational level, we might not know it, right? But on a deeper level, I believe we all have the solution. Um, there's this famous quote from Marcus Aurelius. I'm reading his book called The Meditations.
Mm-hmm.
One line in that book is called "The God has given us everything," and then I'm like, wow, that hit hard, because we have everything. Like we have everything, but what are we complaining for? And we really have everything, given everything. Okay, uh, yeah, uh, but yeah, like okay, beyond the problem, beyond the challenge, and how does this impact you right now psychologically?
It's making, I'm starting to contemplate that part that contemplates it.
Yeah,
Because if I'm thinking about it, I'm not thinking about it. They're just thoughts, and I'm watching them think about it. And if I feel something about it, thinking, I'm just going to keep thinking about it. But if I can get into that state of thinking about it, just going, interesting.
yeah,
Then you start to step out of this one place of thinking, uh, thinking, I'm not going, just doing all that crap. You know, oh, now what? And then you do it, and then you feel it. Oh, now what?
yeah,
It's just every second, you're just choosing a different moment. choosing different thought, different feelings you react to.
Mm. But how is generally like when you think about your like your financial, because it's tough. It's tough, you know. It's not easy, right? Like because
Uh, yeah, yeah. But financially, I can get along. It's mostly just a home because I like to be around people,
yeah.
even if I talk to them, just like having them upstairs
Hmm.
or to say hello passing by.
Yeah,
Um,
just mostly like the
but at the
home.
same time, go ahead.
It's mostly like the your home situation. Yeah.
My home situation is very bad.
Ah, okay, okay, got it, got it.
My parents are they're split up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Going back to this finance, because you said like financial freedom, right? Like, can you elaborate more on that? Like, how is that your biggest obstacle, or the obstacle you want to talk with me, right?
Safety and security.
But
Safety, security, stability,
yeah,
feeling at home.
okay, okay, okay.
But the feeling at home part is that's the tricky one. Because that's when you really have to love yourself, to trust yourself, to know yourself, and respect yourself.
Yeah,
And when you get there, that's when you become a complete man and you don't ask for anything. You become you and just do you, whatever you want to do.
hmm.
And you become the man of your word, the man of your actions, the man of your being, whatever happens to be, it's just you and whatever you've created. And
Yeah.
that's where it gets weird too, because you start breaking down the layers. What's this part of me that's being me, and why am I not being what I feel like I'm meant to be?
Okay, okay. So I see that there's a lot of confusion, right? Like there's a lot of like loss, confusion. What is it that I am? What is it that I'm not? And then think about financial, like security, and so it's more like maybe instability, right? Like because you don't feel safe because of the home situation. Like when we talk about home situations, like how like your home situation, right? Like with your parents are split up and all that, right?
Hmm.
That yeah. So how so let's say so let's look at the version of you who is unstable. Like how can I say not secure, not safe, not in a secure spot. There's more. I guess we can narrow it more into that. How does he feel? Like the guy who is unsafe, unstable.
That's that's a guy who secretly feels if he really wants it, he knows how to get it.
Mm. But how does he then generally feel? Like more like okay, that's nice. It's nice that you really feel like if he really wants it, he wants it. But how does this guy generally feel when it comes to like are there any more um, feelings, emotions that you can attach to this version of you that is not feeling safe, that is not feeling secure?
I guess I've never really had to depend on anything. Everything just always worked out. I
Yeah,
always I always believed since I was a little kid because I don't even know why. I think it was just from all the really negative shit that happened,
yeah.
and I would have hallucinations at a really young age.
Hmm.
And my imagination was just really strong, I just believed or had faith in something, then yeah,
Yeah,
kept going down.
yeah.
But belief, I found to be is belief is just knowing without knowledge.
Yeah, that's it's okay. Okay, no, but good. But that's nice. You know, that's nice that you have. So you have that security. Like you always have this thought and belief that you're gonna figure it out. So that's amazing. You know, but but prior to that, you described this guy, this Jonathan, who is not safe. He's a bit impacted by the situation at home. But how? I'm just missing more like more feelings. You know, how does he feel?
He feels like he has to get something out of his life,
Okay.
like get it out,
Yeah.
so it can make room for something else.
Yeah.
We'll just try to get something away because it's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
Like shoving away this darkness to try to consume you, and
Hmm.
you know,
So he has a lot. He has like he tries to like make the road clear, and there's also some darkness. Uh, but how does he like what more like does he feel distressed? Does he feel lost? Does he feel sad? Does he feel resentful? Does he feel anxious?
not just angry.
Angry? Okay, everything. Like why? Because of the situation at home, or
Just angry at being angry. It's annoying.
Mhm.
There's no reason to be because
Yeah.
the only thing you're angry at yourself, and I still haven't gotten to that deep aspect. And I
Mm.
think if you start tagging along a little more hypnosis with your sessions, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to get people really relaxed so they can go into those deeper layers. Because yeah, I feel you're poking that, but it's like in my imagination, it's almost like a fortress, and
Fortunate.
somebody's just coming up to it.
Yeah.
And I saw this last time we talked. The exact same thing. You came up to the fortress of the messenger, and then you left with something, and then there's an invitation to come back. But
Mm.
I can't quite gather the whole message of what you left, but I felt it, and it was enough to make me start doing that journal.
Nice, nice, nice. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I think this meditation it can be more guided. It can be more visual, like more like a shadow work hero's journey. You know, so be more visual, more compounds. Because again, you said some really good things about Fortress. Maybe this version of you is afraid, like maybe he's afraid of being rejected, being hurt, and being more. That's why we like just protect oneself, right? That's why we build this fortress around us. That's might be the reason why you are at the space right now as you are, right? Um, yeah, like the key object here is that we okay, as you also kind of requested right now, like more hypnosis, more, and then tap into this anger, you know, like fortress anger, okay, you know, because many people can get angry, and then what do they do? Like because of all kind of things that might have happened into a life, and then they just isolate themselves. Uh,
Yeah, I feel as though I'm isolating myself because everyone else is angry, and it's really difficult to make them not angry.
yeah,
And then I realized today when I was talking to this girl, I'm gonna go on a date with Saturday.
Nice, nice.
I don't I don't know what I realized that I realized exactly, but it
Mm.
was that
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just this,
No, no, no,
like,
but it can also be
what
good,
is it?
like for example, for example, when you feel like everybody's angry, when everybody's against one, and then it's refreshing to meet new people. For example, me and you, you were meeting this woman, you're meeting other people, so it can be a refreshment,
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to be like around someone who's not, yeah, what you're connected to, and it's like refreshing. Like our conversation, for
Yeah,
instance,
yeah,
it's different than actually sitting face to face.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, for example, in my
Because
own, yeah, in my own situation, I had a fight with my mom. Like my mom's like, she was like, "Oh, you can find me a therapist who speaks my language. Like she speaks another language." And then we had a fight together, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want to do this work. I don't want to do this. I don't want you to find anyone." Blah blah blah. And my sister's like, she's having these small outbursts of anger, which she cannot like. She don't. And then I'm like, "Hey, why are you angry? Like, what does come from?" And then it just makes her even more angry because he knows what I do. It's like, don't do this on me. Don't do the therapy on me. It's just like, and then you're used to like, yeah. My brother thinks I think he thinks, or that family thinks that I'm a little bit woo-hoo crazy and stuff like to go into this. They're more, logic. So it's good to like. So sometimes I can imagine, like for me, it's a refreshment to talk to somebody like you because when I meet people on Meetup, they're the opposite of you, Jonathan. They're more into problem solving. Like they're more they're less into this. They don't really know anything about spirituality, theology, philosophy. Like they're just more into like not to talk bad about them, but they're more logic, more pragmatic, more rational. It's like, yeah, I'm seeing this guy at work. I don't know, I love him, but I don't know if he loves me. How do I fix that shit? It's like more hands on. Um, but if I mention God, if I mention the prophets, if I mention existentialism, they're like, what is that like? Why should we talk about that? Spirituality. No, 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 get it away. Like, help me. I'm in love with this guy at my work. Should I go for it or not? Like, um, okay, why don't you find anyone else? Like, or why don't you even go for it? Why don't you, So it's much more like that's why it's a refreshment for me to meet Jonathan, or meet some of my best friends, because they're more. We can follow each other more. That's one guy right now. We're having a discussion, like a month, 2 month long discussion about what is God. So it's just very interesting to talk to people like that. And he kind of disagree with me. I disagree with him. He tried to understand me more and more. Oneness goes against the Bible, and so it's very like interesting, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a difference of comparison and flow. Is you can flow with one another and just keep going with the flow, and then there's the logic based, as you had mentioned, where this and this equals this, and then it turns into a network. And you're
yeah,
flowing, you're just going. That's when you're really doing your work. It's just going through whatever was already there, and then using our logic in that moment to know what's happening. Because otherwise, anything outside this moment doesn't matter. Unless you're doing science, of course, or doing some sort of creation, everything in that moment completely matters.
complete,
Whatever you're doing here, you don't like do much unless you do something with it.
yeah,
But you always got to be in that moment going with the flow.
going with the flow. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that leads us to this meditation because it's gonna be going with the flow again. Like it's gonna be the kind of like the Joseph Campbell's, hero's journey. Uh,
Mhm.
the introduction is that you go into self, you tap into self, with a higher self. You are the warrior. Like you go into a warrior archetype, which is like that archetype that no matter what happens, you have all the strength, you have all the desire, you have a purpose. You just go through it, like if anything happens, you just observe and then you just go through. You're a fighter. You just every time you meet an obstacle, every time it's just like it can be equal as a punch. You just wake up, you still go on, and you're the and just imagine yourself the warrior you are in the pursuit of healing yourself, healing this Jonathan who's yeah, who's surrounding himself, as you mentioned, like darkness, trying to shove things away. He's not, how can I say, secure, not stable, angry, super super angry, and he has built this fortress, and then you walk walk walk, you meet some obstacles on the way, you meet like somebody that helps you as well, like a guardian who helps you through the way, and it can be anything you go walk through, and then you see the fortress, somebody, and that there's a huge obstacle like that. There's a villain stopping you, anything like that. You overcome that villain. You walk into the fortress. You see yourself alone with this anger. Then you basically go into a dialogue with this person. Ask, what is it that you want to hear from me right now? What is it that you want to tell me? And then you just tell whatever that this Jonathan wants to be told. You hug him, and then you release everything. Just dissolves. No fortress, no warrior archetype, no Jonathan who's angry, nothing. Everything dissolves into absolute love, and then everything is getting born out of that love back. All right, are we ready?
Hmm?
Amazing. Cool. So let's do this. The shadow work, this hero's journey, fortress shadow work. Let's call it that. It's gonna count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes and then breathe in all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, all the way down. Release, 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 release. Breathe in again, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to the bottom of your abdomen, Jonathan. All the way down, all the way down. Keep breathing in, and then you release. And throughout this meditation, you just breathe in more than you used to do, a little bit more than you used to do in your day-to-day life, and then you breathe out. And as more you breathe in, you tap into the warrior archetype. Tap into this warrior, and you can feel it. You can feel. The first thing is the feeling. How is the feeling being in the warrior archetype? That is what you notice. Then you breathe out again. How do you see yourself as this warrior?
As my presence insulting others just by being there.
By breathing there. Just respond inward, Jonathan. Just respond inward to yourself and notice what the responses are inward as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. But you just feel like you have a purpose of saving this version of yourself who is inside this fortress that he has built for himself, to protect himself, to take a break from others, to diminish the amount of rejections, to be stable, to be secure. And he's angry. But you're the warrior, and you go through this inner world of yours because you're the warrior and you are now inside this inner world of yours, and you just walk through this inner world of yours. Walk, you walk, you walk, and you can see the fortress. You can see the fortress in the horizon. You walk in this darkness, this dark inner world of yours. It's almost pitch black. You walk, you walk, you walk. You have a lantern. You lighten up the surrounding around you. You see that you are inside of a forest. You see the fortress in the horizon. Towards this fortress, like this precious energy and this non negotiable purpose of yours to free yourself is driving you. As you walk, you see a guardian, you see a helper. You see a helper on the side of the road who's helping you, giving you strength, giving you nurture, giving you good health on this magnificent journey. And finally, you reach the fortress. You stand in front of the fortress, and there's someone guarding this fortress. Something that you have summoned your own mind, something that stops you. It can be anything. And you are now going into a fight. Going into a fight, in any kind of fight. It can also be that you heal this being that stops you from entering the fortress. It is one of your safety mechanism. And you're going through this fight with your guardian, and you are overcoming this obstacle. Still breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, and you are entering the fortress because it's not guarded by anything. There's no obstacles. The obstacle has been eliminated. You walk into the fortress together with your guardian. You walk, you walk upstairs, and you walk into the main area of this fortress. You go into the heart of the fortress. And there you see it. You see this shadow. See this shadow that is somewhat stressed, somewhat lost. You can feel that it's not stable, it's not secure. It is very, very angry. And it's the anger you can feel. Standing a couple of meters from this being, this shadow, this you, Jonathan, the angry version of you, Jonathan. That version of you that has locked himself inside this fortress to just be with himself. Walk
Question for you.
towards the shadow. You take the question later, Jonathan. Just walk towards the shadow. You ask this shadow, how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling? What is going on? What is it that you want to hear from me right now? Observe the answers.
You never really know what's going on.
That's right. And even that is an answer, Jonathan. Just observe whatever comes up. If nothing comes up, it's fine. If anything comes up, amazing. It's all right. You accept everything. What is it that you want to hear from me right now? That is what you ask. This anger filled shadow of yours.
No, the anger is my fault, but it still became difficult to work around. It was unwinding.
Mm,
I had to process all of it. The whole process still has a little wrap, but it's still moving through.
mm,
But what happens when the light overcomes the dark? Then what's left?
mm,
You could always rejoin back into the fight. But if you remember what it was once like to be in the light in the first place,
amazing. Cool. Cool.
so why you're back here too.
Exactly. Then you bring the light into this being, into this shadow, into this anger version of yourself. It's you. There's a precious version of yourself. It's a fraction of you. And you get in even closer. You pull yourself in for this magnificent, amazing hug. Tell this version of you, no matter what, as much as you possibly can, despite what happens. You tell yourself, I love you, I care for you, I'll always nurture you. I love you, I care for you, I'll always nurture you. It's all right, I accept that. I accept the anger, forgive the anger, I embrace the anger. It's all right, it's all good. The anger is protection mechanism. Makes us feel, makes us react. You hug this shadow version of yourself, hug it, you hug it, you hug it, you keep hugging it, you keep hugging it, you keep hugging it until you release. Release everything and you let the shadow surrender within you and until everything is just starting to release until the unknown. Everything dissolves at this very point. Everything dissolves into nothingness, into absolute nothingness, into love, into nothingness, into love, into nothingness. Everything is one. There's no nothing. Nothing. From this nothingness, something beautiful is created. You start to breathe because I said you, the you's back, the you starting breathing in all the way down, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, all the way down, breathe out. And you, this you is being born, summoned out of this hole. This you is slowly levitating back into the focal point, back into yourself, Jonathan, back into yourself, and you are fully back and you can open up your eyes. Welcome back. Nice, man. Good. Go back. So yes, you had a question, at least one question that popped up. I hope you could bear with me that we continued.
Mm, yeah, that question disappeared
Because this
after
beard
you
was
mentioned that.
yeah.
Just kind of let it dissipate.
Hmm. And how was the whole journey here? This is a little bit different, because we mix the hero's journey with shadow work, so it's more visual, many more compounds.
I mean, you're the first male that I've ever done a guided meditation with, to
What?
be honest. I said, you're the first male I've ever done a guided meditation with,
Okay,
to
okay.
be frank.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was definitely different.
Hmm.
Not really sure how to explain, but yeah, it was different because it's usually females leading the groups.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah.
So, like a more feminine voice and
Yeah.
coming through, and you're feeling that. So, yeah, that angry self you were talking about, it seemed angry for not being acknowledged, but also at the same time, there's another part that, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
They're not going to get it. You can't, like, do certain things, and people's mind are going to, like, just go, oh, yeah, that's normal. Because there's people that have said many outlandish things, and probably find out years later it's true.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between, like, belief, truth, and knowing. You can believe in something and think that's true, whatever you believe in, and then you experience it, and then you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Yeah.
But could you go into yourself? Like, did you? Because this one is about feelings, but also like because we talk. first of all, we talked about like this financial security, right? And then we talked more into it, and then we found out, okay, it's like more about stability in ourselves, stability. Like we want to have this stability, right? And then we found out, okay, there's a lot of anger, because of the lack of stability, the instability.
Yeah, you gotta work on your gratitude.
What?
You gotta work on your gratefulness, your gratitude.
Gratitude. Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. Okay, that was one of the things that came out about gratitude. But did it diminish the anger, or is it still there? Because it's a big thing. It's a big feeling. It's a big.
Uh, it's like it's essentially I would I kind of equate it to there's a fire, fire of anger, you just spraying gratitude at it. Calm down, it's okay.
Yeah,
And
nice,
then
nice, nice.
burns down, and then something new grows, and
Yeah.
then
Okay,
that new
okay.
you, yeah, two are the black and white wolf
Yeah,
in
yeah,
yourself.
exactly, exactly. So it's like, so it kind of helped you with the gratitude. It kind
Mm-hmm.
of came in, yeah. And it's interesting, because it's the same. I have to like compare now, for example, because right now, as you know, I'm in a different. I'm outside of Europe, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, in a third world place right now, and when I face some things, it's natural, right? The frustration coming up. It's a different kind of alley, right? But then you also get like this gratefulness comes up, because then people can be like, "Oh, you're facing so much," but I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm grateful. I start to appreciate my life much more." Uh, and then it kind of goes away, because it's like, okay, uh, then the anger kind of like goes away. That's just my kind of anger and frustration, but it kind of like goes away with gratitude. Like, oh, yeah, you're getting so grateful for what you have, and what you can look forward to have. So if I go when I go back, I'll be more grateful for those things, but also like for what I have right now. Like everything is working and stuff. Like just some few things that is not working out, but I can accept. But yeah, it's gonna be a big topic if I go into that. But yeah, but yeah, it's just to cement your point. Like emphasizing on your point. But it's amazing you had that visualization, to kind of like take this anger down. Um, yeah, amazing. Cool. So but it's a big thing, with this anger, and it's a big thing you're going through. It's a huge, huge impact. And I know that because my parents are also divorced. So I can imagine some of the things.
Just out of curiosity, do you think uh, what other thing do you think could diminish anger? Do you think there's another one, or is it
Yeah,
just gratitude?
the other ways you can, the other shadow work methods you can use to diminish anger. This is one of them. So the other one would be, the other one could be going into going into your inner child, like do the classic inner child meditation, like, okay, this Jonathan as a child, like, do you see any reason why you could be angry as a child? Because that anger could also stem from the young Jonathan. So that's another way. You go back to the young Jonathan, but obviously you tap into the higher self, the loving self. That's one way. That the lover of the higher self, you find the younger Jonathan who is. Then you just focus on anger. What, like, why could he be angry? Like, so, for example, with me, like, my parents, they didn't love each other. They didn't show, because they didn't love each other. Then they had heart. They we we used to see them fight every day. And then the young Jin, he would be angry. It's like, how can you just fight in front of all the kids? Like, how couldn't you just be adults? and handle it better, right? That's one day where it really escalated, and then I got really angry. The inner Charlie got really angry, especially at my father, because it escalated to a point where it really hurt all of us the most, all my siblings the most, including myself, and they could have avoided
that
it.
way.
So
So why didn't?
what?
So what brought you to where you're at currently? Like, why are you where you are?
Oh, that's a
How
very
did you get there?
it's a good question. It's like I think to answer it short, it's like I just constantly worked on the pain, like the pain in my life, like all the pains in my life. I just constantly worked, and got more and more sensitive, and as I got more and more sensitive, and I got more into, I connected more and more with the universe, with God, I started to find the truth within me, and then I just followed that path, and then did my sacrifices on the way, right? Uh, Getting more and more courageous to do the sacrifice on the way, and realize, okay, it's why not just continue on this journey, like, because initially I did it because I had a lot of pain, I had a lot of pain, and then I found somebody that I call my angels, so they kind of, my mentors, my best friends, so they kind of helped me. They know more about this than I do, so they kind of took me to the heaven or whatever, put it that way, and like, hey Jin, like, you suffering a lot. It's unbearable to see you. Like, they're like, wow, you're suffering so much, like too much, and then they kind of made it their mission to kind of help me. So I felt blessed from the heaven, that they chose me. And then I just, I'm like, why not just sacrifice my degree? Like, why not sacrifice what I'm schooled to do? Because I'm schooled to be a manufacturing engineer, but it's not me anymore. Like, why not just continue? Because the fruits of this work is just much more better, right? And I can help people directly, compared to what I'm schooled to, right? Then I help people, maybe many more people, but it's much more indirect.
Why can't you do? Why not both?
Because the other thing is, it takes a lot of time. It's not something that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in being a manufacturing
Mm.
engineer, and then I have to do something that I really don't like. And then it takes a lot of energy, a lot of time that I could use on this, this work, which is much more giving, much more fruitful, much more interesting to do. But yeah, I think I used my anger, the anger towards my parents to yeah, to release and help people, like transmuting the anger to creativity, or even to body health, like using it to go to the gym, or even the other day, like my mom called, and then because I did some, like I booked myself into a place, and then there's some things going on, and my mom is like, "Oh, you so why do you make these stupid mistakes?" And that was her response. And then the anger just came up, and like, mom, like, why do you have to speak like that? I already told you I made a mistake. You don't need to. Maybe you can be more loving. Why can't you be just more loving and like, hey, my son, I know you need my support right now. I know you already know it's a mistake. I don't need to repeat this a stupid mistake. Like,
Women, you have to speak. You have to respond to women with
yeah, then it actually
assertive
helped,
way.
right? Yeah, because then I used the anger, and then I was like, you can just tell this, oh my dear son, like, everything is
Yeah,
going to be all right. Everything is fine. It's only 30 days. You made a mistake, but now next time you're not going to do it. And then I used the anger just kind of like to parent her in a way, right? And then it actually helped. Then she got more calm, and she started to understand it, and she's like, oh, it's all okay. It's fine. It's fine. You can always come home. I'm going to cook for you. And,
the
she's
word
so,
guilt.
what?
Guilt comes to mind. Guilty,
Yeah.
guilty of something, feeling guilty of something.
Yeah, so yeah, so
or
guilt
something.
can also come up. Yeah, you're right. Guilt can also come up. Yeah. So, anyways, going back to those are different kind of ways where you can kind of heal. I will not say attack, but heal the anger. Different kind of ways. The inner child, the hero's journey. You can even tap. So one other thing, Jonathan, is you can tap into the anger. Just close your eyes and just tap into the anger. Be with the anger. Just just tap it. That is the purpose. Very simple. Just be in it. 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 Tap in. You are the anger. You are the pain body of anger. Tap into it. Just be in it for like 10 minutes if you can. 5 to 10 minutes. And breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe in and breathe out. Be inside this anger, and then you just hug yourself. You hug yourself at the end. Tell yourself, I love you. I care for you. Because then the love is just starting to fill in this pain body as you hug yourself. You can feel the warmth, you can feel the love. And this is pure, pure self love. You hug yourself until the love is just filled up in the entire body until everything is dissolved into nothingness. And then you're back at it again. So that's another way. So yeah, that's so many different ways to yeah, heal the anger, doing the inner work around anger.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of it for years, and then that's where
Yeah.
you pop back in, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't been doing that.
No, no, no.
And then I've gotten multiple little notifications from God the last few weeks. Like, oh, it's coincidence, and then
Yeah,
it
the
actually
signs, these
should
beautiful
say
signs.
picture somebody reminding me, yeah, remember you did all that? I'm like, oh shit, yeah, and keep going. It's like you go to college for 2 years, and you're like, I'm gonna take a break, and then you take a break, and you're like, break's really long, and then you go back to finish it.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice, nice, nice. Cool, man. So,
Okay. But man, I really think I should get to bed. It's really late. I
of
got
course,
doctor's
man. Of course.
appointment
No, I
in the morning.
appreciate. No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate this. It's been a good. It's been a good session. A good short session. Like with the minis. Like some of it went away. I gave you some new ways to kind of hit the anger, and anger is a mere protection, right? It's want to protect us. It's a shadow in itself. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Jonathan, just gonna end the. All right, that was the session with Jonathan. Amazing, right? Like we talked about money first, like irritation around money, like financial instability. And the beauty of this is we talk through it, and then we end up like, okay, it is about anger. We end up with anger, like building a fortress. Like in this case, yeah, but Jonathan built a fortress because of he's been feeling rejected and insecure, not stable. And then obviously you feel this water and then this anger, this anger towards other people. And then if you have that anger, if that is tied directly to the main problem for him, it was around financial stability, then it's important to work on this anger because this anger kind of stops us from going for what we really want because this anger is like this blockage. It is this stone that you have tied to your legs, like it's really hard to move around if you have this anger, if this anger is stopping you. So that's why I love this work, like you have the main problem, you talk about that problem, you figure out what is, okay, dissect into what is going on, what is the problem, why is it that what is the underlying problem, what is the real problem here? Then you find that, and then you can just dissect into it and do a guided meditation around that and focus on that. Because when you relieve that, it's much, much easier to accomplish accomplish your main goals. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for seeing it. Thank you for seeing the session. And if you're interested, you can always reach out to me.